Hello guys, how are you doing? How are you doing, everybody? Welcome to my live broadcast. Um, I want to talk about why so many young men in our society are dying. So many young men are dying in our society, and how it's affecting the number of husbands that are available for young women. Supposed to be discussing this issue so that some people can start doing something about it. All right, we're in a society where young men are dying. Nobody is just saying anything. All right. So if you're watching this video after I've done the live video, just skip the first 1 or 2 minutes because I'll use it to be hailing people and then hailing people that are just joining in. All right. So hey guys, if you're just joining in, click the like button. There's a thumbs up icon. Click on it so that it will spike up. All right. Click on it. I can see a lot of people are joining, and feel free to drop comments. The topic for the day is why are too many young men dying off in our society? It's affecting the number of husbands that will be available for the women. So we are creating a fatherless society, a husbandless society, a society where there are so many single ladies. That's what we're creating. And when there are single ladies, what do you call it? Single moms, society of single moms. That's what we're creating. Nobody's talking about it. Not the government, not the celebrities, not the religious preachers. Nobody, everybody's keeping quiet. But this is a big problem in society. Big problem. So feel free to drop comments. Before you can comment, let us know where you are commenting from in the comments so I can discuss the issue. All right. First of all, if you can hear me, just please say it in the comments. Let me know that we're together. Click the like button. All right. Too many young men are dying off. Look, you hear that Boko Haram killed 67 soldiers. Boko Haram attacked and killed 67 soldiers. Check the gender of the people that were killed. 67 young men. These are 67 potential husbands. 67 loss of the life of 67 ladies. All right, minimum of 67 ladies. These are 67 fathers that are just wiped out in a day because somebody is fighting Boko Haram. Okay, the soldiers killed the Boko Haram members. Those are husbands, fathers. Yes, Ebuka, that's what I'm saying. Okay, every time you hear that the police clashed with robbers and there were some deaths, maybe on the police side and on the robber side, check the gender of everybody that died. They are male. The robbers themselves and the policemen themselves, they are males, and these are fathers, husbands, love of life of some lady somewhere just lost her husband or potential husband. But now I'm saying today we just heard that a policeman killed a young man that was playing football in Anambra. So this young man, they were playing football in the streets and police came to enforce social distancing. I don't know what happened. The policeman shot one of the young men that were playing football. This full-grown young man is lying on the street, is there. That's somebody's love, that's somebody's boyfriend, which means there is a lady somewhere right now that will never be able to marry because what? Somebody was just killed. Somebody was just dishusbanded. Or this father, I don't even know whether he has a family. If he has a family, that means there's a child that is going to grow up without a father. And nobody's talking about it. Too many young men are dying. Too many young men. What do we do? Now, hey, George from Dublin. George says lots of people in Nigeria are really suffering. Very true. Very true. You hear that EFCC raided a nightclub and arrested 200 Yahoo boys. Check, they are all male. Maybe one or two female. The whole 200 are male. That is 200 husbands gone like that. And the thing is getting worse and worse, but nobody's talking about it. Nobody's giving, we don't even have statistics. We just observe it that, man, so many young men, every day you hear that somebody died in Nigeria as a result of robbery. Go and check. Robbers hardly ever shoot the woman. It's always the man that is always going. There's this thing that's going on now. Robbers harassing communities in Lagos and in Ogun State. 1 million gang or 1 million boys. I don't know what they call them. The whole 1 million of them, 97% of them are male. You will hear that a street killed some. I have some videos I can't post here. It's always on my Telegram. They will catch some of them. They will kill them. They are young men. These are people's boyfriends dying. You hear that they themselves killed some community members. Check the gender of the people they killed. Males, fathers. Nobody's talking about it. The only thing we're doing in our society is women empowerment. All right? But women empowerment is very good because we kind of have an imbalanced society, all right, where women don't get enough exposition to try enough things that the men are doing. So the income of women in our society is generally lower. Very, very low compared to the income of men. All right. So women empowerment is very good, but what I'm pointing out is that nobody is also talking about the men empowerment. Okay, we have what do you call it? All these NGOs. Very few. You see, very few talking about the male child empowerment. What of the young man empowerment? Where are the funds? If you look at where they are doing scholarships on gender basis, they'll do women's scholarship. If you're a woman, you apply, you get free scholarship. What of the young man? All right. An uneducated man? Is that what you want? Now I'm saying everybody just ignoring the male, the young male in the society. And what happens is how to add me on, how to like my page on Telegram, John Austin. Please, guys, just hold on a second. Let me connect. Let me be able to answer you guys' questions. Okay, so I'll answer you. Just if you go to Telegram, Telegram is an app like WhatsApp. So you go to your Play Store or App Store and download Telegram. It looks like WhatsApp, okay? Then you search for Dave Partner Media. But I want to type it here. John Austin is from Maiduguri. How is it going down in Maiduguri? All right, let us know how it's going down in your city. So George from Dublin, a lot of people in Nigeria are suffering, okay? So hold on a second, I'm trying to post a link. I want to post a link to my Telegram so you can join me on Telegram, okay? So many young men are dying. Man, every time police, look at this social distances. You know, look at this social distancing that they're doing. The military and the police have to enforce it. Some people have been killed because of that. Look at the gender of people that are killed. They are male, people's boyfriends. You know, initially women used to be able to express themselves in terms of your personality. People have different personalities, but now it's looking like type A personality women are struggling to find husbands. I don't have statistics to back that up, but most times I personally see a woman in her 30s that is not married. Okay, she's type A. You know what is type A? Type A personality, there are two types personality types. There might be more, okay, but the two major ones are type A and type B. Type A is the personality type that like to achieve something, that like to work hard, achieve more, want to go travel the world, dominate, rule. You know, that's usually what most men are. Okay, or a higher percent, maybe not most men, but a higher percentage of men are type A. They want to work hard, they want to make that money. You understand? They want to live the good life. They want to travel, conquer the cities, travel the world. You know, if they're working in a company, they're working extra hard more than others. That's type A. They want to get there. If the salary is not enough, they want to quit the following day. You understand? You don't need my number. Chat me up on WhatsApp. Not WhatsApp now, but Instagram. Then if you need my number there or anything, then I can show you. My number is also on the site, braintime.org. But it's on WhatsApp. I don't pick calls. Ezra said I'm a psychiatrist. So we're having issues. So this type A personality, males, they like to achieve. A man can go to China. Go to China. Guys are going to China to do business. They can't even speak they don't mind conquering cities. That's type A. They can't sit a laid back life. You can't employ type A as a house help, and he's gonna one day want to go out there and do business and do stuff. It doesn't mean they always succeed, but they are more likely to work harder. Now, type B personalities are people that like to take a laid back approach to life. Like, why are you struggling all these things? Like, some people don't understand why they have to be a billionaire. Like, seriously, why do I have to trouble myself? If you can just pay me down my salary and I eat for the money, I'm okay. I'll watch Telemundo. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Some people just want to coast through life like that. It works for some people. You understand? The average in our society in Nigeria, not average. Okay, well, not average. I don't have actual numbers, but most women in our society, they live in their husband and in their father's house. They live till they are 25 in their father's house, maybe go for NYC, live through school. The father is protecting them, sending them money and all. Once they're done with school at the age of 25, some of them don't even get job. Boom, husband has married her. So for the next 45 years, she's living in her husband's house. The husband is providing, and it works for them. You understand? But most male cannot. If you try that thing as a male, the kind of poverty that will knock you. If you try, let me live under my father, then once I marry, I'll live under my wife. Which wife? You know what I'm saying? No woman in our society will even agree to feed you for more than 3 months without a job. That marriage is breaking. You're a full man without a job, 3 months, you're done. So males are usually type A, or at least forced by society to become type A. You understand? Then women can become type A or type B. So few women by genetics are type A, few. Because this hunting and gathering thing is a man thing, okay? Nurturing is a woman thing. There are some things your father cannot feel about you. They cry, your father will be like, shut up, are you the mad? You know, you can't have that kind of feeling that your mom can have. So at the end of the day, when women, type A comes with its own disadvantages. Two type A personalities cannot marry. It's very difficult. But if they're able to figure out how to marry, they become a power couple. Look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know, when two type A marry and they're able to sort it out, they become a power couple. But it's very difficult to find that kind of combination. Very difficult, because two captains cannot lead a ship. Two of them know exactly what they want in life. You know, how can you tell me to quit my job every day? The man? No. Imagine a man working all hard on all day, coming back by 9 p.m. at night, and then the wife is not back yet. Calls in the phone, where are you? Do you know, do you have children? This, that. The wife will be like, you, uncle, did I shout on you when you came late? You know, that kind of thing. Two type A's cannot, it's hard for them to even date. Type A personality is two. You understand? Type A usually dates type B. So what's happening from my own perspective is that when you see type A, if you go online, most of them end up, when they post things, people perceive them as feminists or feminazi. You know, go online, you see that kind of thing. Some will tell you that I don't need a man. You know, I don't need a man. When you see people talking like that, they are type A. They are most likely type A. You understand? Most type B will be like, I'm not a feminist though. Okay, well, if it's about equal rights, that kind of feminism, yeah. But if it's about the other one, no, you know, that kind of thing. Most type B personalities don't care. They just, let's just live life. That's type B. So when a woman exhibits type A personality, what happens is that it's looking like she's gonna start losing suitors, likely suitors. Most guys will be like, yeah, look at what this girl posted though, disappear. So it's happening like that. That type A personality women are able to complete academics, do masters, travel the world. At the end of the day, she stays single. If you check one of the reasons, is because most men are dying out in our society. Most societies, though, if you hear that there is war, it almost means that a massive number of males within the marriage age is about to be wiped out. If a country fights war, that's what it means. Do you know how many of Nigerian soldiers have died? All of them are male. Occasionally, female soldiers might die. You get what I'm saying? Occasionally. So where are the NGOs that are trying to stop this thing? They're trying to educate the males. If you hear that there's, in Nigeria, I know when I was younger that the government of my state then published a statistic saying that there are at least 18 bike accidents per day. 24 hours, 18. I don't know what the numbers are now. So that was the reason the government wanted to ban bikes. They said every day in the hospital, they are getting bike accidents, about 18. So they wanted to ban it. Now, if you look at that, let's work with that 18. Every time there is a motorcycle accident in Nigeria, at least a male is involved. One male, two males, three, four, but there must be a male. The guy driving the bike is most likely male. You get what I'm saying? The guy driving the bus that had accident is most likely male. So, and these are males within marriage class, either early married or about to marry, or married with children. These are people's fathers dying, potential husbands dying. Where are the NGOs that are trying to curtail this kind of thing? You get what I'm saying? What of an NGO that will say, once you're a man that you're newly married, you're married within last 2-3 years and you have accidents, we'll take care of your hospital bills. You get what I'm saying? Because if you solve that man's problem, hey, Paul Robert. Yeah, this is how I look, man. Yeah, so if you solve that man's problem, imagine a young man that just married this year and next year he has accident. If you solve his problem, you have solved the problem of him and his wife and his kids. You understand? What of young men that have energy? I know people that have been worrying me, how do I go abroad and work? They don't have education. I want to go and do something. I have energy. My family can also suffer. Whatever it has to be done, that has to be done, I will do it. You know that kind of mentality. What of the NGO that will say if you want to travel abroad as a young man, we'll sponsor you. We have NGOs that are sponsoring all different kinds of women things, but nobody's looking at the men aspect. You get? Yeah, somebody said type A women may not need a man at young age, but if they grow older, they do need men. See, everybody needs everybody. That's what I usually tell people. It's just like as a young man, you show up, you say you don't need woman because what? Why don't you need woman? And when you are young, you can do anything you want. But once you're clocking 50, you look around. It's either you need husband or you need child or you need somebody close to you. If you're lucky, your sibling might be that close, living with you closely. Otherwise, man, it's a lonely life out there. So there are some people that by chance nature has been unfortunate to them to create that kind of loneliness for them. But if it's not natural that you voluntarily decided that when you are young you don't need a husband or a wife or a boyfriend, or it's suffering. This kind of topic is very difficult to discuss without affecting the ego of a lot of people or grazing on a lot of people. But man, we have to say what we have to say. Someone said the government is not supporting anybody. If it is abroad, you are a citizen of the country, the government will support you, but Nigeria government will never support you. So when you talk about type A personalities, once a woman starts exhibiting type A personality, she runs into a kind of problem. There are already few men. All right, let's say there are 100 women and there are 90 men. That means there is certainly 10 women that will never marry. I think in a country, in an African country, they said this was the president mandated the men to start marrying too. They have been advising them marry more, 2, 3, 4 wives. Was it in Lesotho? I can't remember the particular country. They have been running government programs, sensitization programs to encourage the men to pick up more wives because so many men have died off, and then the women are going to be there. They're going to have a massive population of single women. So if we don't take care of the situation that is happening in Nigeria now, in 10, 15 years, so in 10, 15 years, we're going to run into a situation where we'll have that kind of problem. Men are being mandated or advised to marry more wives because there will be so many single women. So many. You get? Most women don't realize it on time that there are so many single men because when you are in secondary school, let's say you go to a mixed school in Nigeria, you have roughly equal number of male and female in secondary school, equal number. So you feel that that's the way the world is. But the thing is that by the time you start getting to 25, from that 16, 17 to 25, so many of those males have died off. Is either they join cultism and something bad happens to them, or stray bullets, or one thing, they clash with police, or they have accidents, or something, you know, so many things, or they join army and they ended up in Boko Haram's grave, you know, that kind of thing. Somebody said, if by chance you become the president of your country, what will you do to improve this issue? Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, yeah, what I would do to improve the issue if I become the president is make sure that there are at least more I will create new NGOs or encourage new NGOs to start also including the men. Start looking towards the direction of the men. You understand? For instance, if you're a man, you're married, and your account balance, your bank balance is averaging 50K per month, then you are qualified to apply for a certain kind of grant or funding. You know, men should be able to qualify for funding. There are female NGOs that are doing this kind of thing. You get? If you're a man and you're married, it means that there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulder. So it makes sense that such men should be able to receive funding. You get what I'm saying? What of young men that wants to be footballers? I know young men that play nice ball. They just want to move out of this country. What are NGOs that are talking with sports ministries and whatever institutions abroad that will help take these guys out? For each young man you take out, you are number one saving his own immediate family, and then the family is going to create when he marries. You get? If we don't solve this kind of issue now, it's going to multiply into bigger issues in future. 10, 15 years time, you start seeing problem. The women are way more educated than the men, and then naturally women marry up compared to men. Men can afford to marry down. In fact, most men are afraid to marry up. That's why some people say that men are intimidated by successful women. You know, Sometimes most men don't want to marry up. They want to marry somebody they can control because men are type A. They want to dominate. Mostly, not all, okay? So same thing with women. Women want to marry up. The reason why women genetically want to marry, or in fact, in all species, they want to marry the best male available in their cycle. The reason why they want to do that is so that they can produce the best offspring, because your offspring is going to have the nature of the male you produced. One, that's biology. Then secondly, if the male can provide, then your offspring has more chances of survival. So let's say you marry a rich man. Most women will marry a rich man, a richer guy. Why? Because he's showing potential that he can provide and ensure that the offspring will survive. It's genetic in all animals. You get? Sometimes in other animal kingdom, the males have to fight to be able to earn the right to even mate with the female. So when the woman is more educated than, when generally there are a large population of women that are more educated than the men, it becomes difficult for them to marry now. It's happening in the US now. In the US, Black educated females are finding it hard to find husbands because all the guys in the streets are not educated. They don't give a shit about education. You get what I'm saying? Then the guys that are educated, they want to marry out of their racial subgroup. Some of them might even want to marry white. Escape. And then some of them might not. You see guys that go to PhD, they will not want to marry a Black lady that has PhD. They want to marry down. So the thing is, we have to do something. NGOs have to come, government have to come in to start looking into the situation of young men dying out. Some young men need orientation. For instance, we heard that the child of the son of the president had accident that time. He was over speeding with his friend. Poor orientation. He has education, he has everything, but if there was proper orientation from childhood, there are courses put in to tell you that, look, as a young man, primarily you should preserve your life. You should take your life serious. It is going to save, it may not save everybody, but it's going to imbibe some kind of culture, all right, or morality in some people's mind to be able to be careful of their lives. Again, not most young men can stand up. You see, young men have a lot of energy, a lot of adrenaline. They can stand up to police with gun. I saw a video the other day. I don't know whether you guys saw it. Quarantine video. They were telling the guy to do this in frog jump. They caught him outside. The military men caught him outside and were trying to give him punishment for being outside. Even though they were giving these guys, about 3 or 4 guys, punishment for being outside, a woman walked by. So all this, what do you call it, enforcement of lockdown in Nigeria is only happening to men. The only time they want to enforce lockdown is when they see males outside. If they see women outside, they just overlook. These are orientation that people have. There is only males that break the law in Nigeria. Am I lying? You get? So I was watching that video. A woman walked by. These military men did as if they didn't even see the woman. It's the 3 young men that they saw. They are punishing them, telling them to do frog jump. So the young man was like, before you know, this man went and punched an armed military man and started running. Can he run faster than a bullet? Poor orientation. He doesn't give a damn about his life. All he knows is that he's annoyed and he wants to express that anger. You get? And that thing shows in the way males express anger. Males usually express anger by an action that they will perform. Physical action that they will perform that will resolve it. And if you can see that guy, once he goes home, his anger is gone. That's it. Forever. He's not going to be angry about that thing again. Because what? He has expressed it. But the way females express anger is different. Because most women are not type A. What they will do is basically like expose. They will use their mouth and finish you. They will verbally try to shame you. That's the way most females will rather express anger. It's only few females that will go and boil hot water and pour their neighbor, or boil acid and do this and do that. You get? That's when you start seeing kind of type A behavior. So people that want to do it like the men would actually do it. You get? So men need orientation. If this guy had a proper orientation, he knows that whatever happens, never exchange words with an armed man. Once somebody is armed, you don't know his state of mental state. You don't know what happened before he came out of the house that day. You don't know what he drank or what he took. You get what I'm saying? You don't know somebody that's about to run mad. One nut has already fallen off, you know? He's telling you to stand, you are still wasting time. So there's poor orientation. Where are the NGOs that are supposed to be giving orientation to our young men? I see NGOs going to give orientation to young ladies about rape. What of the young men? Why not gather all the young men and teach them what not to do when it comes to rape? No orientation. Most young men just do things because the streets taught them. Nobody is giving anybody any sexual education. The only sexual education goes to women. What of the young men? For rape to occur, at least two people have to be there. Hey, George? Yeah. Thanks. Ambrose Law says, oh, what do you think about owning a firearm? See, I'm not a lawyer, all right? So I don't know what the law says about it, but I know that since we fought that Biafran war, the whole firearms thing, government has been serious on it. But I don't know, I think that it's legal to own a certain kind of firearm, like, I think it's double barrel guns. It's legal to own double barrel gun, but you have to be licensed by the police. So you have to go to police apply, and they have to do all their checks finally to be able to be sure that you can own it as an individual. I think that's the only kind of guns Nigerians people can own in Nigeria. So, but the other side of owning guns is that if citizens start owning guns, what is happening in America will happen. Do you know how many people that have died in America this year? Let me even check. For the person that asked for my Telegram, so I'm putting my Telegram here. So I just put the link to my Telegram, all right? It's not, it didn't even create itself as a link. Let me try again. So thousands of people, they said in a weekend in Chicago alone, let me even check. So in a year, they have about 33,000 deaths. See? Per year in 2013. In 2013 alone, there are 75,000 non-fatal firearm injuries. 75,000 people were shot, okay? So they said about 33,000 deaths due to injury. So 33,000 people were killed. 33,000. That's more than Boko Haram has killed since the past 5 years in Nigeria. 33,000. I'm checking more statistics. So if we allow citizens to start owning guns, so in February in the US, remember that they went on lockdown. Even on top of the lockdown, they had 273 victims. 273. So we having firearms is going to create that kind of scenario where people will exchange, normal exchange of words will result in somebody bringing out gun to shoot another person. Or normal thing that would have ended with slap. Somebody will use gun and shoot. You get? So we might end up creating more problems than we wanted to solve initially. Ezra said he has 2 guns. Master gunnery. You understand? I hope you have a spotter. So the whole idea of creating, allowing citizens to own firearms freely might backfire because we're seeing how US is battling with it. I remember Obama used to cry on TV. There will be for a school shooting. You understand? Even though they do some background checks and all, you can never know. Somebody might be good today, buy guns. You know, tomorrow, something will go out of his head. They will go to school and shoot everybody. You get? So there are situations that it might be not that straightforward or easy for us to just get allow citizens to own firearms. But one thing we can do is to see how well we can reform our police. Let the police provide enough security. Then people don't need to own firearms. Again, if there's enough security from the police, imagine what's going to be happening in London now. You see that there's a lot of knife attacks in London, right? Imagine that citizens are allowed to own firearms. Hey. You know, imagine that it got to the point that citizens are, even their police in London, am I right, guys? You guys police don't own firearms. There's a special firearms unit. Normal police on the streets are almost like road safety in Nigeria. So we need to get to a point where we start looking into the police system, all right, and also see if they can. We're going to format it so that it becomes very efficient, at least more efficient than it is now. Then we wouldn't need much of a firearm per individual. All right. A country that allows individuals to hold firearms is Japan. And even at that, Japan has very low debts, very, very low. So people own firearms in Japan, but very, very low debts. In fact, the whole of the year, they had only one death due to firearm. Because what? Their police is very efficient. Very, very efficient. So I'm trying to repost the Telegram link I posted. It wasn't a link when I posted it. So I've reposted my Telegram link. You guys should join me on Telegram so that anytime I make a new video post, you guys will get it. So what do you guys think should be done to save the young men in the society? Click the like button, the thumbs up icon, click on it, all right? Click that thumbs up icon, click on it so that the like will spike. So what do we do to save the young men in the society? There are not enough NGOs taking care of young men. What of people that want to marry? There are so many young men that are 25, 27, they want to marry, okay, but they don't have the money. Because what? The society demands a certain kind of expensive wedding. Which NGO is going to this place, these communities that usually do an expensive wedding, and try to talk them down and tell them this wedding thing you guys are putting is making it difficult to marry your woman? You get what I'm saying? There are towns in Nigeria that if you want to marry, if you want to marry, you better be ready because they're about to bill you. They're about to bill the hell out of you. Ordinary marriage, you renovate the family house, re-roof it, do this, do that, clear compound, this, that, give their pay school fees for this one, that. Then you start buying all the kitchen equipment, items, everything. Ordinary marriage, you just want to marry a woman, and sometimes the woman may not even be working. So young men will date. When they see bill, they run. You know what I'm saying? When you see bill, you terrorist. For a young man in Nigeria now to marry, he has to save money for like 2 years ahead, 2-3 years ahead. Not in all parts of Nigeria though. He has to save money like 2-3 years ahead, and will blow it on one day in wedding, something they call wedding. Blow it. Then the whole family will enter. Some men will have to borrow money. Imagine having to borrow money because you want to marry, which means the next 2-3 years of that marriage, both of you and your wife and your kids, you're in debt. Some people will marry a job they should have changed. They will not be able to change it because they borrowed money from the company. So they will work another 4 years slavery. Where is the NGO going to sensitize the communities that this thing is not right? What of NGO sensitizing women that if your people want to do this, you should stand and tell them no, that your husband should not spend that kind of money? Some women are all on Bella Niger, checking Bella Niger weddings. I want my wedding to be this, that. Other wedding gown, 500K. 500K. You get? Even if the woman is the one to contribute that money, is that a wise investment? It's not a wise investment. You understand? So we need NGOs looking into some of these fundamental issues that are seriously affecting young men, because anything that affects young men in our society will invariably eventually affect the women. John Philip says my voice is low. Is it true? Guys, is my voice low? Is my voice low? John Philip, can you increase the volume on your system? Guys, can you tell me if my voice is low? John Philip, can you tell us the device you are using? Are you using a phone or system, or what kind of system, whatever? Sunday says, I want to have my YouTube channel. Sunday Mohammed, please go to my site and get the course on YouTube. All right, there's a YouTube course I'm posting now. Courses. So I've posted it, YouTube course. Click on the link I just posted in the comments and go and buy the course, all right? There's a discount now. Samsung Galaxy X, okay, my voice is okay. See, other people are saying my voice is okay. So we need government to start looking into the death of young men. I don't want to wake up tomorrow and hear that some people were killed and these young men. Sometimes it's as a result of the carelessness of the young guys. You know, Carelessness, like the one I talked about, overspeeding. You get carelessness. Somebody during the coronavirus, somebody came back from UK. He didn't quarantine himself. He was going to parties and everything. At the end of the day, it turned out that he has coronavirus. Even one governor was infected. These are young men. What did you do, John Philip? Can you tell us what you did to set it up? You said it's okay now. What did you do to make it okay? What did you do on your Samsung Galaxy A6? Please let us know. Okay, so that if somebody else have that problem, we'll know. Please, if you're watching this, click the thumbs up icon. I can see a lot of you are watching it. Please, click the thumbs up icon, all right? So what do we do to help the young men in our society, to stop so many young men being dying? Which NGO is approaching the police to tell them, stop shooting young men? You know what I'm saying? Stop shooting young men. Today we have, so police, if you shave your hair anyhow, if you paint your normal thing that a woman will do in a society, a normal woman will plait her hair. If a young man does it, boom, you have entered problem with police. They will hold you in the middle of the street and shave it and beat the hell out of you. Some people have been killed because of it. You get? So this is like a society that is against young men, young manhood. Once you are from, let's say 18 as a young man, you no longer look like a child. From 18 to 40, you're in problem. Like what you're doing during those years is like watch your head, so that somebody will not show up somewhere and kill you. Is that armed robbers come to your house and kill you, or police in the streets? You know, there are sometimes I don't drive, I'll enter Uber. The reason I don't want to drive is I don't want to clash with police. First day I bought a car, there was a car I bought like 2 years ago. First day I was driving back. When I got to the junction like this, policeman ran across from the traffic light. I was at the traffic light. I was waiting for it to turn red, to turn green. A policeman walked across, entered my car, opened the other door, entered. As he entered, he told me he has a gun. He said, drive. I was like, yeah. He said, we're going to the station. I'm like, why are we going to the station? He said, when we get to the station, you'll find out why. You know? So why that hostility? Now, if I was some crazy dude, I'll be like, we're not going anywhere, guy. If you want to kill me today, kill me. And you might be surprised. The person might shoot you because you don't know his mental state. You understand? But I had the orientation that once a man is armed, you don't argue with an armed man. You don't just treat the person as the person is about to rob you. Don't argue, don't debate anything. Do whatever they tell you to do. Whenever they are done and go, you can take up whatever you want to do. No. Bato says, do you believe 5G is the cause of coronavirus? No. There's no correlation between 5G and coronavirus. If 5G caused coronavirus, then what is 4G causing? Corona malaria. 3G will cause what? Corona typhoid. You know what I'm saying? Even there was the pastor that says that 5G caused coronavirus. He has changed now. Is he not the one that was saying the other day that he wants to use 5G? That he's only now saying it because of health. He was concerned about people's health. But if they release 5G, he's going to use it. There is no correlation between 5G and coronavirus. And 5G must come because that's the way the world is going to work. The internet in the world needs to get faster, which means 5G must come. There's no other explanation to. China is already working on 6G. You understand? So if you die yourself in the name of 5G is because of coronavirus, what will happen is that the country will leave you indoors. China will be so advanced for you. Yes, so John Philip said many ladies are thinking they are having delay in marriage, but what actually causing delay is bad economy. Yeah, there are so many challenges that the young men are facing. The lady is not having delay in marriage. There is not enough young men to pick from. That's the problem. It's not delayed. There's not enough young men again. So it's not delay in marriage or anything. There's no spiritual problem of anything. Usually before, if there was in the olden days, all right, when so many young men weren't dying off, okay, if a lady has a problem, yeah, if a lady has a problem with a man, she can have the option of switching to another man or switch to another man. She has a pool of men to pick from. Eventually she picks, all right. But now the number of young men in that marriage class have reduced. Okay, so her chances of picking and choosing, is lower. You get, if she blows the chance of one man, she might find it difficult to even find a second option. So many people think they are having spiritual attack from village. It's not. Total young men, total number of young men is lower, available and lower. You get what I'm saying? So it's difficult. How is Senegal? John Philip, how is Senegal? Ebuka said Nigerian pastors are not to be trusted. Man, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust shit. You know, those days, those years when I used to be tricked by some of these abracadabra miracles is gone. Now, when I listen to a pastor speak, I listen to the essence of what he's teaching. Those miracles don't mean nothing. Whenever it's time for you to do your fake miracle, I'll leave you and switch off my television, do your fake miracle. All those incurable diseases. Somebody made a joke the other day that Nigerian pastors are waiting for COVID-19 to be over so that they can return to curing incurable diseases. Do you know that we have in Yaba, all right, in Lagos State, in Yaba, we have a COVID-19 quarantine center. You understand? Over 300 people have fallen ill of COVID-19, confirmed. I think about 100 and something have been released. So that means the COVID-19 center is housing. So the quarantine center is housing about 200 people right now. With all the thousands and thousands of churches we have in Nigeria, no single pastor has gone to that quarantine center. No single pastor has gone to that quarantine center to do miracles. That's how you know that most of those miracles are fake ass miracles. You get if you are believing a pastor because you say a fake miracle, you are being tricked. I have to put it like that. Sorry for you. It's fake. Everything is fake. In this channel, in the past 2 or 3 years, I've been explaining how they do each of those single fake miracles. You know why Nigeria pains me? Because it's because of the kind of nature of problem we have. All right. If that old woman in the village that never got educated, there are some women that never got educated. There are some men there that didn't get educated. Imagine a man that has been a farmer all his life. Okay. He does his farming and everything. He uses that money to send his child to school, and his child is able to finally graduate from the university. A fake pastor tricks this man with a miracle, fake miracle. The man agrees because he's not educated, okay? He agrees. A fake pastor tells this man that 5G is the cause of coronavirus. The man agrees because what? He doesn't know how to use Google. He doesn't know how to do his own research. He just believes the pastor, so whatever the pastor says is correct. You can't blame that man. If that man gets tricked out of his money, you can't blame him. A fake pastor tells the man that you have to pay tithes for you to have money. The man pays tithes. You understand? You can't blame him. He can't read the Bible. But what of his son or his daughter that went to university is now educated? Will come back and fall for the same trick. You get what? That's the problem we're facing. The educated people are behaving like the uneducated. Exactly. You don't see difference. That's the problem we're facing in Nigeria. You get what I'm saying? The people in Nigeria, educated and uneducated people behave alike. The education has no effect. You get what I'm saying? You see, go to WhatsApp, people are sharing fake news. If that grandmother of 60 years that learned to use WhatsApp last week shares fake news, Buhari, they have cut off the head of Buhari and now put the head of Atiku in Buhari. She shares it, warning, please share to 20 people or you will not go make it in life. She will share. You can't blame her. You understand? Because what? She's uneducated, she doesn't know much about social media, she doesn't know how to find the real news, and she doesn't know the list of reputable media, all those things. She doesn't know. She just saw news. She just shared. You get? Her daughter that is doing her MSc program in Uni Abuja or Uni Lag will still share that same fake news. That is the problem. The education her daughter got is rubbish. You get? So when I see some fake pastor use all these abracadabra, hand lengthening miracle, somebody's hand will go and when I see that they trick all these old women and men that, I don't have any problem with that. I don't blame those young men or those kind of people they trick. But when it comes to young men and women that are educated in our society, that are supposed to be the leaders of tomorrow, and that kind of miracle or fake all those things are still tricking them, we have problem. There's no future. If this guy can go to all the school he can go to and come out and say 5G causes coronavirus, my brother, we don't have any future in this country because it's his generation that will still lead tomorrow. The leaders of tomorrow is already fucked up. That's the problem we have. Yeah, Fred said not most of all the miracles. All miracles are fake, period. That's what Fred said. They are waiting for the scientists to provide the cure. Now, this thing puts a question on power of prophecy. You see so many fake miracles they are doing. They do prophecy. You understand? Madam, can I talk to you? There's a woman here. Her name is Winifred. Winifred, can I talk to Winifred? Yeah. Have I seen you before? No. Winifred, you have 2 legs and 1 head. Yeah. Your father has a kidney problem. Yeah. All those accurate prophecies, they are gone. Can't a pastor come out and say, a prophet, all right, prophet of God? Some people have prophet in their names. Can't one of these prophets and say the cure for COVID-19 is this chemical formula for this plus this plus this or this? You understand? With the money they have, they're supposed to talk to their scientists that they employed and then produce the cure. Nothing. The other one was saying you should put salt in water, turn it 7 times. If you turn it 7 times, you say what you have to say, then your family is protected from COVID-19. What the hell? That's the same pastor that said that he's going to China to destroy coronavirus. He said he's going to China before he said they should bring children to the state. He bought Bible. I'm going to China to cure coronavirus. The following day, we got our first case. This man till today, nobody has seen him in that quarantine center. That pastor should go to quarantine center and do his miracle. He has to go there and treat people. Even when the Pope wanted to go to, Pope is one of the only pastors that or preachers that have actually gone to. You understand? And I've gone to where they're doing that. And the Pope is 92 years old. He has gone into quarantines and ICU units, intensive care units. The Pope went there. But the thing is that for him to go there, he didn't do any spirituality. He used all this what they call it, overall. If you see, you don't even know that he's Pope. He covered everything. It's like he's even worth 2 of it. To be able to go there. You understand? To be able to walk in there, he had to obey all the scientific rules. But at least he had the courage at the age of 92 to even get in there. Most of these pastors, they are doing live service from their rooms and doing remote. There's this thing they call live service. You put it on YouTube and you come live. That's what they're doing. But we have people dying in quarantine. Almost 7 people have died now in Nigeria. Where is all the miracle? All the miracle is gone. Once they bring out the cure, they will start prophesying. Some pastors used to bring out pictures, videos that they prophesied that something bad will happen this year. Nobody mentioned COVID-19. They prophesied last year. What is last year? Do you know George Bush was saying in 2005 that there will be a disease called a disease that will come like a flu and it will spread and it's going to kill a lot of people? That US should have what the apparatus to handle that kind of epidemic or pandemic. George Bush, because scientists have done their calculations and estimated that the virus that is going to kill the most people in the world and threaten the world population is going to come like a flu. People have to be able to cough. You understand? Any other disease that affects human beings that doesn't involve coughing cannot spread fast enough. You get, like HIV. HIV doesn't involve, people have to have sex before they get HIV or some sort of blood transfusion. It's slow. It's spreading, okay, but it's slow. But if it's involved cough, somebody can just enter a vehicle and cough once. The whole vehicle has already got it. I was seeing a simulation in China of 1 person. This guy coughed, about 4 people in the bus got it. Because 1 person that has that virus just coughed. You get what I'm saying? So there has to be a sort of coughing because that's the way you bring out the most fluid easily from your mouth, mouth and nose. So scientists have done the simulation that the disease that is going to threaten us is going to come from cough. And then bats are carrying a lot of disease. Because they are largely mammals. I think all bats are mammals, right? I want to know if there are bats that are not mammals. I know there are 2 or 3 different top species of bats. Okay, bats are the only mammals that can fly, okay? Bats are the only mammals that can fly. So and we are mammals too, all right? So any virus that can affect a bat, you understand, or rat, or any of this can easily transfer to us. The thing is that bats, not just that they can fly from location to location. That's why they have so many viruses. A bat can be here, and in the next 2 weeks, the bat is in Senegal. Bats fly in groups. So they can go to different places and pick up different viruses. Yeah, so that's why bats have a lot of what do you call it? Diseases. All right. And Disease can be contacted by any other mammal, like the COVID-19. They said that it came that a pangolin ate a bat, and then human beings ate that pangolin. All right. Even though there are some news that is coming now that that virological center in China, that they were actually experimenting with coronavirus before the outbreak. You understand? But that thing is not yet verified. But they were saying they were experimenting with it. They gave it to pigs, then mashed up those pigs and gave it to other pigs to see whether it will transfer from pig to pig. That experiment alone, who knows how they disposed of that pig? What if somebody went and took those pigs for experiment and sold it in that market in Wuhan? You get, just give it some months. Eventually, they're going to figure out what happened. And so Ambrose says, Dave is Pan-African and practices African spirituality. I don't practice spirituality anything. Nothing. I just ask questions. I ask questions and anything. If a witch doctor comes to me today, he should be ready for questions. Now I'm saying you have to answer questions. What is in that tree that you are worshiping? If I cut this tree now, what will happen? You know, if you say something will happen, I'll go and cut it to be sure. Now I'm saying that's me. I don't believe in spirituality or anything. Okay, I just like these because it kind of shows that I'm from Africa. This thing has no spiritual significance of anything. Like I'm the least spiritual person in that direction. So many marriages set to happen this year will be cancelled. Yes, so many marriages. In fact, some people are advising people to go ahead with your marriage. Like if you have marriage during lockdown, go ahead. You don't need to feed the whole public to be married. Just put on that your wedding gown, meet with a preacher. Maybe your parents will be there, and then you do your marriage. You don't need 30 people. You don't need to break a law. You don't need 300 people to come and feed on your finances. Meg said they've paid 8 bats recently. Bats are one thing that I've eaten bats when I was young. Yeah, I remember at least once. At least once. But it's not the big bat. You know, there are different kinds of species of bat. That one is very tiny, but the wing is quite wide. So if you judge it by the length of the wing, you think it's big, but it's very tiny. Okay, so back to the topic. But the virus is not airborne. Yeah, Fred, the thing is that people can cough out droplets. When people sneeze, a lot of droplets go on. That virus is in those droplets. So some of the droplets are heavy, which means they will drop within a few seconds. So remember that within those few seconds, people are breathing that in. Imagine somebody in a, people are breathing as this person is coughing. Okay. So remember that the main droplets would drop, and then some will hang around in the air a little longer. In fact, some are estimating that even up to 8 hours, there are still some droplets that will hang around. So somebody said, I disagree with the scientific evidence about bats. Our ancestors eat bats and pass it on to us. Okay. So yes, our ancestors used to eat bats, but the thing is that the bat that has been associated with the most disease is called a certain kind of bat. It's called a horseshoe bat. So horseshoe bat, all right. Horseshoe bats are kind of not immediately available, from what I understand, in this part of the world. Okay, they are not like very common in this part of the world. That horseshoe bat is not that common. Yeah, so John Philip said many Nigerian girls will not agree. Yeah, you know, we're gonna have a kind of eventually, right? When there is a lot of young men a reduction on the number of young men in society, the only option left will be polygamous marriage. So that's why I'm saying we have to take care of the situation now. For now, people are saying, most young men see polygamy as most educated young women, educated, they see polygamy as what do you call it now? As condescending. Like me now, I'll come and be a second wife, or I'll be sharing my man with somebody that's like, seriously, am I crazy? That's the kind of attitude you get. All right. But eventually, when there is a lot of single women, that will be the only option left. The reason polygamy existed in the past was because they fought a lot of wars then. Go read the Bible. You see that David assembled 120,000 soldiers and he went and fought. Then he wiped out the entire 120,000 soldiers of the other people. You get what I'm saying? After killing those soldiers you're hearing is 120,000 men. what will happen to their women? You understand? So in that kind of scenario, you have 120,000 females, at least minimum of 120,000 females that can't find a husband. So the only option will be that they have to pair up with. So that's probably how polygamy started. You get, even today, some people have started making memes out of it that your boyfriend or probably has a girlfriend or 3 more girlfriends. So we need to have NGOs need to start looking into the young man in our society, right? How to take care of the challenges the young man is facing, okay? How to take care of that. Seriously, we need scholarship for males too. As much as we have scholarship for females, we need scholarship for males within the marriage class. Because if that man ends up being educated, he's going to have a better family. That means he's going to be able to better take care of a woman and the children. All right, but if that man due to hardship is forced to pause his education and start becoming a mechanic or a bus driver or a ticket driver, tell me the quality of family is going to be able to produce. Some of them end up impregnating 30 women. Go and check it out. You see a shoemaker that is struggling to eat. He has 4 wives. Because of what? Poor orientation. So, what do you guys think? Click the like button. I'm about to round up. Some people say many marriages will crash this year. Yeah. Somebody said they always want to be in a big and expensive wedding. Yes, there should be NGOs giving women orientation. That look, it's very stupid for you, unless your husband is rich. Like if your husband is rich and can afford a very lavish wedding, no problem. You understand? But if it's a young man like you, imagine a 27-year-old woman marrying a 30-year-old man. They are in the same age class. Their income will not be too far apart. And then this man, just to be able to do that kind of quality wedding, the woman looks, he goes to take a loan of 2 million, 5 million naira. He does wedding. The next first 2-3 years of the marriage is problem, serious problem. He can't afford basic things because he's paying back loan. Salary will be coming in. Before that salary will come in, they will deduct loan and send to the people that he borrowed. And you know what happens with loan? You borrow 2 million, you have to pay back 3 million. So first 4-5 years, the young man is struggling. The whole family is struggling. The woman that had the most amazing wedding, she's struggling. So it's not a good financial decision to have the most flamboyant wedding where you know that you and this man is going to stay in the same house for forever. You know what I'm saying? You get, so most young women should be educated and what do you call it now? NGOs should orientate the women and the men too. Convince the men that spending the biggest amount of money in wedding is useless. All right. There's this trending now. It's called no reception. When you print your wedding card, you tell people no reception. The wedding will hold at this church and this data, but no reception. You're not going to waste money in the reception. Sometimes when you check the amount of money you're going to waste in reception, is enough to take your wife to Dubai. Is enough to pay the flight tickets to and fro. Just amount of money you want to use to feed the whole village. You tell them you are marrying. Why not do a quality honeymoon? Have 10, 15, 20 people on your marriage, period. Do a high quality honeymoon. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be people challenging some of these things. I think that there's a state that has already put a law on that kind of marriage. A state has put a law. Other states need to put laws so that the young man in society will be able to carry the responsibility of maintaining his wife and his children. Yes, lack of orientation. The way they do orientation on sexual orientation to women, there has to be also a serious orientation on the young men. You don't challenge an armed man, okay? Serious orientation. As a young man, you have to be careful about your life. You know, some young men will carry trailer and be going to Maiduguri from Lagos. They are carrying goods at night. The kind of risks young men take, they don't pay attention to the possibility of losing their lives. Serious risks. So that kind of orientation has to be there. Maxwell Gozie, how are you doing? Yeah, it's possible. Look at this. Coronavirus is killing more males. They say 70% of people that have died from coronavirus are all males. 70%. There are so many explanations to that or possible causes. But one of the causes that relates to what we're saying is that most men travel more in almost all societies. In Nigeria, I've checked the statistics at some point. Men travel more. So if you enter a bus, most of the people you see in the bus are men. Most women prefer to relax at home or stay within the house. If a woman is doing business or running a shop or doing something, it's usually closer to the house. But if you talk about people going further, not all the time, all right? Not all the time, but mostly, according to road safety statistics, men are usually more on the road. So if there's a disease that spreads by contact, who do you think is going to get it more? You get? Then, of course, there's the other reason that women's immune system are stronger because they have to carry another human being in their body. So naturally, their immune system is stronger to withstand different kinds of diseases and even physical pain. There are some scientific studies that are saying that it's possible that women withstand physical pain more than men. All right. Hey, Arinze says I'm enjoying your show. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining in. Make sure you click the thumbs up icon. You guys should click the thumbs up icon so that we have a lot of likes. All right. Click that like icon. Click, 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 click. So, yes, Luke says it doesn't happen in Western world, marrying two wives. There's a state in America now that is in there. They have passed a bill that they want to legalize polygamy because there are so many. They are single. This thing is not working because so many men are dying off. Look, do you know how many? Do you know how many black men die per day in the U.S.? Do you know how many black men are in jail? They said 1 out of every 3 black men. Once you're black and you're a man in the U.S., your chances of ending up in jail is 33%. You get 1 out of every 3 black male end up in jail, which means what? 1 out of every 3 black women will not have a husband. 1 out of every 3 black man families will not have a father, missing father. So you have an entire generation of people being raised, families, fatherless children being raised. They don't know what it feels to be a man. They don't know how a man behaves, so they behave like women. Go check out some of those hood in Black America. When they want to fight, they fight like women. They keep your hand like this. Because when women want to fight and throw punch, they have to keep their hands above their breast. You know, there's breast. They have to keep your hand. But when men want to fight, they have to fight like this because there's nothing here. Men fight like this. You know, that's how men fight. But when you see those Black Americans, they'll be like, yeah, why is the hand hanging like this? Because what they've seen their mother fight, and that's the way the fight happens. You understand? They fight like they have boobs, big boobs. You know? So we have an entire generation of men being raised without fathers. And those men will grow up and will still end up in jail again. So we don't want that kind of thing in Nigeria where a lot of people are being raised without fathers. Okay? It's very important. They said the overwhelming majority of people that do school shootings in America are young white males that don't have fathers. They didn't go with their parents. So a state in the US is leading the charge now to pass a bill to decriminalize polygamy. Normally, I don't even know why it's a crime. If human sexuality is diverse, all right, some people prefer to be attached to only one person, one woman, one man. That's the way they see their marriage coming. Some women will be comfortable or will prefer if their husband has a second wife, somebody that they can always send on errands. There's also the wife of the husband. You get, some people are comfortable with that. So if 3 adults decide to marry themselves, why would you use law to prevent them from doing that? It doesn't make sense. In no tutorial, am I making sense? So in Western world, I think I read it last week or last 2 weeks that in the US, a state, I've forgotten the state that is about to legalize polygamy. I think I should mention it here just for posterity's sake. So, like I already mentioned, the reason that there is polygamy is usually those situations in the past. Some people say it's patriarchy. Patriarchy. I don't want to call. They have talked about patriarchy so much as if it's some evil thing that doesn't have any advantage. Those days, even now, when there is a problem that involves violence, it's the young men that rise up. We saw it happening in this robbery that is happening. You get, there's this robbery that's happening in Lagos now where all these 1 million boys are robbing. Go and check the streets, men. The people in the streets started keeping their own vigilante. Go and check the people there. It's all young men. So if those robbers come and start shooting, who are they going to shoot? It's the young men, because what? A man is not supposed to stand and watch harm come to his woman. You understand? His sisters, his mothers at home. You understand? Before you get to those people, you have to pass through the man, even if it means him sacrificing away. But if there's a woman, then they will not run. You get what I'm saying? Now, when most of those men die off, maybe they encounter a serious battle and most of them die off. You understand? Those other women want to pair up. You can't just have an entire half of the town marriageless. So polygamy becomes the only option. Somebody comes up tomorrow and says that they are operating a patriarchal society. Yes, there could be patriarchy in disadvantage. There's also an advantage to it. Or maybe it was their only option at the time. You get, there are so many disadvantages of patriarchy we have to shed off. But saying that it was entirely bad at that time, you don't know what the kind of things they faced at that time that made them come up with that format. It's not that we have something called industrialization. All right, then we now have computers. With a laptop, a woman can have the same earning potential as a man. Look at something like law. A woman can practice law comfortably. Was that profession there 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago? It's only few societies that had law those days. You get, what they had then was farming. Farming requires physical strength, only men. They had hunting, requires physical strength, only men. Required battle, fighting battles and taking loot, only men. So women had a weaker earning potential then. But now, things have equalized. So, but we turning back to cause the kind of thing they did then, you don't know the kind of challenges they faced then that made them to adopt that kind of situation. So we have to drop a lot of patriarchal things happened in the past. We also have to be sure and try not to enter into a matriarchal system too. So we have to have an egalitarian system where everybody is treated equal. So if we do only women empowerment, we'll forget our men, and what is going to happen is that, yes, of course, it's going to affect everybody else. So as we're doing women empowerment, let's also do men empowerment. Okay, women orientation, men orientation. So we can maintain a balanced society. All right? So I just read now, they said in 2013, December, Federal Judge Clark ruled that the portions of Utah's law, anti-polygamy laws, which prohibit multiple cohabitation, were unconstitutional, okay? But he also allowed Utah to maintain its ban on multi-marriage licenses. So they cannot give polygamy license. But he also ruled that people, cohabitation is now legal. Or at least the ban on cohabitation is unconstitutional. Now, in 2020, February 18th, 2020, okay, Utah State unanimously moved to decriminalize polygamy. I'm telling you, they're getting to a stage where so many young men are dying, or they know that men, we have to allow people to start pairing up. Well, at least they are taking care of their system better than most African countries. So in Africa, we have to start taking care of our system. Start now to orientate the men. Men, take care of your life, okay? Don't go and throw away your life in some random stuff, all right? Don't go and overspeed. Cars are already moving fast enough. Bikes are already moving fast enough, you know? Bikes are moving fast enough. Normal speed, 50, 60 kilometers per hour. If the road is clear, you do 80. Even at that 80, it's moving very fast. You don't need to overspeed ever. Like, there's no need to overspeed ever. You get, unless somebody is chasing you to shoot you to death and kill you, you know, then you have to move away. Yeah. But outside that, man, you don't need to overspeed. These are orientations people don't get. So I'm going to round up. So you can Google it. Utah, they unanimously, nobody opposed it in their parliament. They said the Utah State Senate voted unanimously on Tuesday to effectively decriminalize polygamy among consenting adults. Yeah, because it's kind of funny to me that America can say that gay people should be allowed because what? They are consenting. Once they are between consenting adults, it should be allowed, right? But then they decriminalize polygamy. Like, it doesn't make sense. What if it is between consenting adults? All right? So me, I personally don't like polygamy. That's not my kind of thing. Like, seriously, I'll be living with two. Oh, you understand? But if three people decide to live together, why is it a problem? What do you guys think? That is why men is called men. Women are called women. God is not stupid for creating it that way. Yeah, once there's a woman attached to a man, if you want to hurt that woman, the man will automatically, the instinct will kick in for the man to be protective to that woman. You have to pass through that man. So some men can take all the beatings and insults at their office. You insult them, you beat them, you slap them, you shout on them, you call them all sorts of the name, or sort of name, they will not do anything. But the moment you touch their wife, hey, you don't die. Be you who? You understand? That gate man you've been insulting, the day you insult his wife, that gate man you have already slapped, the day you will slap his wife, you are dying that day. You get? Or his daughter, he heard that you did something to his daughter, man, you are dead, forget it. This is a man that can take all kinds of punishment and insult. But he cannot see that kind of thing happen to any woman close to him. So it's a normal male instinct. So we need to orientate our men. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I'm trying to round up looking at all the things that you guys are putting. So Luke Onyama, hope I've cleared you that in Utah, they have moved to decriminalize polygamy unanimously. Okay, they have seen it. Nobody doubted it. They were like, obvious, it's too obvious. We have to decriminalize it among consenting adults. So somebody said a lot of Nigerians here don't even want to marry Nigerian ladies again due to expensive weddings. Yeah, in a way, that's good. That could be one of the reasons. So we have to start tackling the expensive wedding culture that we did, that we have in Africa, because those days before in Africa, for you to do wedding those days, you have to prove that you're man enough. Those days you have to prove that you're man enough to do most things. You understand? And then they see women as investment. So the father invests a lot in the woman. When the woman is marrying off, going to her husband's house, he expects some kind of returns for his effort. Even though the return is not enough, he expects some. That's the way they see it. Because the male will marry and stay. The women marry and go. That's the kind of situation that they had there that made them come up with that kind of culture. But we have passed that era now, so we have to drop all those things. You don't need an expensive wedding. Why are you coming to people's wedding to eat? You know, chauffeur. Yeah, His Majesty, you're joining so late. I'm rounding up now. You're saying good morning. Which country are you in? Yeah? It's 10 p.m. here. So you must be somewhere in the Middle East or in Asia. So, Christian, I'm not married. I'm single. Do you have any wife for me? Do you have any wife for me? Make the connection. You are in Spain, I'll be Italy. Or connect me to Italian and Spanish wife. The one that don't have any. Okay, I'm gonna stop here, guys. Do feel free to reach out to me on any of the social media platforms. Okay, if you need any of my calls, go to brainterm.org. If you enjoyed the live, please let me know. Please let me know. If you disagreed, so far I didn't see anybody that disagreed with what I said. I'm surprised. Nobody disagreed. That's a miracle. That's a miracle. No single disagreement. Wow. Okay, guys. See you guys.